Watching this movie, I was reminded of something that just continues to be true in this world. Sometimes, life just sucks. And this movie, it drained the life out of me. This one hurt. So I just got to see Joker Folie, Deux, aka Joker 2. It is a sequel to 2019's movie called Joker of the same title, a movie that was essentially an origin story for the character of Joker, a character who historically does not have an origin, so it was always a questionable movie, but it's a film that managed to be kind of masterful. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Let me just get that out of the way early. It's a film that never should have existed, but ended up being a film that was both sort of respectful to the comic legacy of the Joker, this character that should not have too much clarity on his origin, but still gave you enough to understand this character and see his background and imagine that, yes, this does make sense. This could be a guy that goes on to face off with Batman. It's a beautiful movie that is just wonderfully put together. It has some of the most iconic cinematography and scenes that you will watch in film, an incredible score. It, of course, won an Oscar for Best Actor with Joaquin Phoenix. I almost cried watching it. It was just one of the best things ever. A movie that had a brilliant ending, an ending that kind of closed the door on sequels, but left enough ambiguity to leave the door open to maybe you can keep telling more stories here. And of course, that movie ended up making $1 billion, so yeah, we're getting a sequel. We have a sequel, and for years and years and years, I was on the internet saying, I think they should make a sequel to Joker, because I think a sequel could work. I think there is a pathway to doing another story here that would still carry on the legacy of that first movie, feel like it's needed, feel useful, but also be different and new and exciting. And when they announced a sequel and that it would be a musical and it would be a story centered around Joker and Harley Quinn, I thought, my God, this film's gonna be amazing! And, no. It's not amazing. It's everything everybody else in the internet feared when they thought they were going to make a sequel to Joker. They thought it would ruin Joker, and you know what? It kind of does. So what is Joker Folie do about? Well, it's about Joker after the events of 2019's film. He is now back in prison in Arkham. He's Arthur. He's not Joker at the moment. He is kind of reverted back to being this lonely, miserable self, and he's on trial for his crimes. While he's on trial, he meets this woman named Lee Quinzel, aka Harley Quinn, played by Lady Gaga, and they sort of spark a relationship. Now, the whole central plot of this movie and the conflict is this trial and this sort of case that they're trying to bring to the jury, that Arthur and the Joker are two separate personalities. They're not the same person. They are two different people. And this is an idea that every character in this movie is tackling with, including Arthur. And the film is essentially just that. It's just this kind of courtroom drama, a little bit of a love story, and musical sequences that felt kind of thrown in and just don't feel like they belong in this movie. Now, what are my ultimate problems with this movie? Saying that it's a disaster. Well, my main problem is this film feels like it was made by somebody who absolutely despised the first movie. This film feels like a giant FU to anybody who enjoyed that film. If you're out there and you love that movie, if you love comic books, you love the character of Joker, this movie is meant to troll you. It's meant to piss you off. It's meant to make you angry. This film is not made for people like you. It's made for all of those critics out there that said in 2019 that the only people that enjoy 2019's Joker film are sad incels. Those critics out there, all those loser journalists, they're the ones that this movie was made for. And I can't really go into why without spoiling the film. But when you watch this movie, you know from the start, the way they're portraying Arthur, the way they're portraying Joker as a whole, and everything that transpired in the last movie, and where it goes towards the end of this movie, it is a giant FU, and it's one of the most insulting movies I've ever watched, akin to something like The Rise of Skywalker, and it pains me to say that, because I was so excited. This is my #1 most anticipated movie of the year, and I am now comparing it to The Rise of Skywalker? What happened, Todd Phillips? Unlike The Rise of Skywalker, there are some good aspects of this movie I could point out to. Joaquin Phoenix is incredible here. It's a performance he'll never really get a lot of acknowledgments for. He's not going to get another Oscar nomination for this, but he is as good, maybe even better than his first performance. Completely committed, amazing. Even in the singing stuff, he's great. Lady Gaga is also decent in this movie. I don't think she does anything like world-changing. She's not really in this movie a lot. This is not a Harley Quinn and Joker movie, unlike what the title and the marketing wants you to believe. It's not. Her part in this movie is not important. You could take her character out of this film and kind of tell the same exact story without her. It's just stupid, but she is good, and yeah, of course, in the musical sequence, it's Lady Gaga. She's good in those. But this is not like the career-defining performance that I was just convinced it would be for her, and it's not her fault. It's just the movie is not designed to be that for her, where I thought, going into it, of course it would be. This is going to be a love story, and that is this new idea for a sequel to Joker. It's a movie about the Joker falling in love with Harley Quinn, Harley falling in love with Joker. It's going to be that kind of movie, and it's just not. I also say Brendan Gleeson's really good in this movie. His character's kind of dumb. I don't really understand what they were trying to say with the character in this movie, but he does a great job. I will say the actual production of this film, the cinematography, is stunning. It is absolutely stunning. Compared to the last film, it is still really, really a great looking film. One of the best looking films of the year. The production design is also brilliant. Visually speaking, one of the best movies you're going to watch this year. The same thing I said about Megalopolis, another beautiful movie. The music is also really good as well. You have pretty much the same score from the last movie, and then a bunch of new music. Music also in the musical stuff. The one issue I'll have about the music is, in Joker 2019, it felt very methodical when they used certain songs, when they used certain pieces of the score, and when they did come, they were just so memorable. Like Joker at the end of 2019's film, when he's standing on the car and he spreads the blood on his face, and you get the like, it's beautifully used, that track. And this movie, it feels like they don't know when to use certain music beats. They just throw them in the random scenes, and it doesn't feel earned, and that great score feels wasted. Even the regular music, like That's Life, when That's Life is used in Joker 2019, especially in the ending scene, it is so brilliant. It's one of the best music cues in film in decades. This movie, they use That's Life again, but it just feels thrown in a random point. It doesn't feel earned. It's little things like that that take a movie from being iconic and well-written and well thought out to feeling like a mess. And that's my main problem with this film, outside of just the story beats that I'll get into. This movie is a mess. Where the first film felt like they had that script written and done for a decade, and like it was just so methodical. Every scene was meaningful. The journey of the character, everything about that movie felt like it was so well crafted and structured. Whereas this film just feels like, we're in a bullshit, go, go, go! Like, it's a mess! There's no base idea here. There's no base theme. The tone is all over the place. It seems like nobody in this film knew what they were making! Like the musical aspects. I love musicals. I love the idea of doing a Joker film that's a musical. To me, I know a lot of people were like iffy about that. To me, that is the direction to take this film. That is so interesting and weird and different, and fuck it, that's a cool idea. It's just not pulled off well because they don't really go all the way with it. Instead of it being a very creative musical like La La Land, which is what I think they were going for, sort of a weird mix of drama and musical, it's instead a jukebox musical where the characters just break in the song randomly, sing real-life songs, and then they cut back to the regular drama, and it doesn't fit. You could take all the musical sequences out of this movie, as well done as some of them are, and the movie works the same. There is one sequence in the courtroom, musical sequence, that I really, really enjoyed. I thought it was put together well, but outside of that, just they did nothing for me. This movie does have one of the best scenes in either of the Joker movies. There's a long courtroom scene involving Joker and, of course, Gary. Remember that little guy from the first movie? It's like a 10-minute sequence, and it is really brilliantly done. It is an incredible scene. I recommend seeing the movie just to watch that one scene because it's everything you wanted from that 2019 movie in a sequel in this one kind of secluded scene. It's brilliantly done. But outside of that, man, this movie just, there's not a lot to be excited about. It's boring, it's long, it's sluggish, everything feels meaningless, the whole story is a circle, you start and end in the same place, the ending is a disgrace, it ruins the ending of the first movie, it doesn't respect Joker fans, it doesn't respect people that are fans of comic books, it doesn't respect people that enjoyed the first movie, it has no respect for literally anybody, except for, I guess, Todd Phillips, and it's a movie from top to bottom, just feels like a complete and utter disaster. I just don't have anything to say. Even Harvey Dent, they throw Harvey Dent in here. Why is Harvey Dent in this movie? That character could be anybody. It's the DA going against, Arthur in this film, the lawyer. But it could literally be anybody. The reason why it's Harvey Dent is so the audience can go, oh, look, it's Harvey Dent. He's Two-Face. He's another Batman character. Holy shit. There's no other purpose to using him. It's so... It's so cheap, and the first movie didn't feel cheap, and this one feels so cheap and angry and stupid and hateful towards the first movie. This felt like it was made by a different writer. Todd, you wrote the first movie. Why do you hate it? Why are you destroying it, you stupid idiot? This movie just, it broke me. It really did, because I love the first one so much. And the reasons I thought I loved it, the understanding of this character, the universe of Joker, what it means to become Joker, this one bad day, this dive into madness, with sort of controlled chaos and madness, for that to be taken and just kind of shit on with one of the most useless, pointless movies I've ever seen in my life, with an ending that is just so bizarre, I don't know who they thought would like that ending. I'm just mind blown, and I'm disappointed, and I just can't believe this ended up being one of the worst movies of the year. I can't believe with all this talent involved. I'm stunned, and I feel horrible for Joaquin Phoenix, because after Joker 2019, this dude just can't stop missing. My god, he did Beau is Afraid, which was Ari Aster's worst film. He did Napoleon, which is a very disappointing Ridley Scott film. And now he's done Joker 2. Sorry, Joaquin, you deserve so much better. Lady Gaga, you deserve better too. This was supposed to be your big movie to break out and win an Oscar. Todd Phillips failed you. Todd Phillips, you failed DC fans. You failed yourself. You failed yourself after that first movie, and I hate going after directors like this, but I cannot believe they thought doing a complete deconstruction troll movie after the first one was a good idea, and obviously fans are not happy. This movie's going to bomb at the box office, and you know what? It's sad. We'll never see Joker 3. We'll probably never see a Joker standalone movie ever again. Maybe we'll finally get a great version of the character of Joker in the Batman universe with Matt Reeves that actually respects the character and doesn't try to deconstruct it in madness. I'm so pissed. I will give Joker Folie à Deux a 1.5 out of 5, and the only reason it's not a 1 out of 5 is because of that one courtroom scene and the production and all of, like, the nice stuff in the movie. There are some positives. It's not The Rise of Skywalker, but it ripped my heart out the same way The Rise of Skywalker did. Let's just put it that way. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe for more, turn on notifications. Let me know what you thought of Joker Folie à Deux down below, and I will see you in the next one.